So, to the few people who watched my regular guy makes a decision on a motorcycle, this is it. This is a KTM 390. And why did I buy this motorcycle? Well, first and foremost is I wanted a beginner bike that is capable off-road, can do everything okay. So, what do I mean by that is this thing is not going to rip my arms off, and probably most importantly is this thing only weighs like 300 something pounds, and I can lift the back of this motorcycle up and move it around. That's how I get it into my garage. So I can tell you that riding this and then riding this just around the yard is that if you're a capable rider, this is an amazing machine. If you're not a capable rider, and this is excluding like XC1 riders and anybody who's, good on one of these, this thing gets you anywhere. Anybody who's been in a mud race knows how, uncapable riders will bottleneck up a whole race. So a couple things about this. Yes, it's a single cylinder. No, it does not have any vibration. I was surprised. I have put 200 miles on this in a couple of days, and I wanted to hold off making this video until I was sure that it was the right choice. So I haven't ridden a motorcycle since the early 2000s. And I had some pretty decently capable bikes. And man, this thing handles really well. Not only does it handle really well, but it like kind of takes care of you. I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty easy. Also, it's orange and black. And I have an unrealistic loyalty to orange and black. So, I'm kidding, of course, but so let me talk everyone through this. So first of all, it's got cool tech. So, and I'm a big whore for cool tech, right? It is fuel injected, which was on my list of things. And holy shit, I wanted a fuel injected bike. And this is fuel injected. I wanted something that gets good gas mileage. It gets great gas mileage, and it has a 3-gallon tank. This thing gets like 60 miles to the gallon. Let me see if I can show you on here. It says ready to race. So, general info. Oh, of course, man. Oh, wait, was it right there? So it's got all these cool modes, too. So there it is. Getting 62 miles to the gallon on this. And put 204 miles on it. Pretty neat. It ain't perfect. It is not, I wouldn't call it fast, but KTM has this braking mileage thing. I don't know if that does like what Corvettes do, where it's holding you up for getting the peak performance. It rained yesterday, and it seemed like as soon as I hit 200 miles, it really started to wake up. It might be because it's cooler out. You got more dense air. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that these things, my tuner will swear up and down that there isn't a break-in period for this. But damned if there isn't, I'd put money on it. So, what are some cool things about this? Well, it's light, it's nimble, it gets good gas mileage, it's a good beginner bike. But it comes with a bunch of cool shit. Like, again, the TFT display. It has adjustable suspension. And I've been playing with this suspension because it ain't set right from the factory. It's got adjustable levers, which, man, I wish they had this for my Renegade. The tires handle really well for on-road. I took it on some gravel. I didn't do so good, so I'm going to need some knobby tires. And then I'm going to do all the mods to this thing before I take it out, like replace the skid plate, add a bunch of AliExpress and Amazon mods, change the tires. People complain about this windscreen, but I don't know. I guess maybe because I used to drive a sport bike, it's not really bothering me. So, it comes with LED lights, which is nice, and they work really well. It has the Indian version of Brembo brakes. It comes with rock sliders or whatever you want to call them, crash bars. Yeah, so I love it so far. Few things that I hate. Finding neutral on this is a motherfucker. I'm one of those guys that puts the bike into neutral when he comes to a stoplight. So I like to put it in neutral when I come to a stoplight instead of holding the clutch down. Obviously that's not going to work on hills and shit like that, but finding neutral is really difficult. So far, it shifts okay. I probably need to adjust the clutch, the clutch cable. The seat is fucking garbage. It might be because I'm a bigger dude, but right here when you stand up, I mean, this thing has like less padding than this. Definitely. Definitely has less padding than that. God, that's like a fucking leather couch compared to... Yeah. I mean, even this has a more comfortable seat. So I ordered a new seat. Gonna get the radiator cover. I'm gonna raise the handlebars and get the XE gear, just like I have on my Renegade. Now, you're saying why would you use XE gear when I have multiple of these sitting? Because I'm done with them. I'm done with that company, and I don't even think they do anything. I think it's just one big propaganda campaign. What else? The exhaust note ain't great, but it's a thumper, right? It's a single cylinder. But man, it's a good looking bike. It is a good looking bike. It's very easy to ride. I love it so far. I really do. People complain about the pegs, but it's not really bothering me so far. The only thing that is bothering me is the fucking brake lever. The rear brake is like almost like non-existent. And you're talking about a dude who has I have a hard time working the rear brake on that. It's like a hole in my game. But I got an aftermarket one. Hopefully that cleans it up. It could use like grippy pads right there. But I hate covering up them graphics. I love this matte color. I love it. What else? Yeah, so this is my choice. And I've gotten some shit about it. Like, motherfuckers are calling it, like, if you're going to give me shit about this thing, you should probably know whether or not. So this thing has 47 horsepower. I don't think I'm getting 47 horsepower right now. Like I said, it's starting to wake up. But the acceleration for me is okay. Like, I've seen other guys put different tooth sprockets in. I don't think it needs it. And I'm, again, bigger dude. I don't think it needs a fuel optimizer. I think it runs fine. I don't think it needs any more performance than what it has. Especially if you're going off road. I like, you know how guys are, like, you need the ultimate most horsepower, and eventually I'll get there. Depending on the reliability, whether or not I'll be brand loyal to KTM. But I can tell you one thing: this fucker was $6,200, and it's usually the MSRP is like $7,400. But KTM had a rebate on it, and when I went in there and I went into the dealer, because I went into the dealer not knowing what I want. I had, in my last video, I explained I needed something that was fuel injected, not carbureted, so that eliminated a lot of adventure bikes. I had the money to get a $15,000 bike, but like, the other choice I wanted was the Aprilia 6 something, but that was like outrageously priced, and you didn't get any of the little like doodads that you get with this thing. And I was like, look, for the price of my first choice, which was the Suzuki, the V-Strom, I could have bought two of these. So if you're looking for an adventure bike and you haven't gone off-road with one yet, and I'm talking about like real off-road, like GNCC type off-road. I'm not talking about fucking gravel roads and, soft terrain that has, hard packed dirt where, you have a little bit of fun riding the rear brake and then making the rear tire slide around and shit. This bike weighs 300 and something pounds. I think it's kind of perfect for going off road. And they make a Husqvarna, I can't pronounce the thing, but it's like a 401, and that thing is cool too. They say that this thing is made in India, and they also say that these WP shocks aren't the real deal. They're like some sort of knockoff, but I mean, it's not a Harley Davidson, but if you buy this thing and you don't mess with the clickers, then it's not going to ride right. It's not going to ride right for your weight. You have to mess around with the clickers. But with the price, the performance of it, and then I did, numerous hours of YouTube research, talked to all my friends who actually ride off-road. There's a lot of guys who have opinions about these, and they have dual sport bikes, but can't ride for shit. And I know I can't ride for shit. And if I recognize someone else who can't ride for shit and they're giving me advice, it's but my buddy Darren, he knows how to ride. My buddy Ben, he knows how to ride, and he's done Trans-America Trail. So I don't think I'm going to go with these massive fucking, boxes and shit like that. I've been overseas quite a bit, and I've seen, I've been in a lot of shithole third world countries, and where they have people riding on the back and a ton of shit. I'm not trying to, I've already almost fallen off of this when I put my foot down, and then the road was uneven, and the bike kind of tilted over. And I've had some panic moments. Like I've stalled this. Oh, here's another thing. It stalls. It stalls quite a little bit. But that's probably just me. But the brakes are fucking amazing. On the front brake's amazing. The rear brake could use some work. The clutch is great. The shifter's getting a little bit better as we go along. The neutral thing's kind of annoying. But I've seen these guys like load these fucking things up, and then it throws off the balance of the bike. So I'm thinking like some soft bags, and then I might either fab up or get a really long extension and then get my camping gear down to a point where I'm going for efficiency, for like my tent, the bare minimum shit. And like after being in the military, I can I don't need much, and worst comes to worst, I got a credit card, just go to a hotel. So if it's getting stupid and I'm getting my ass chewed up by mosquitoes, then I'll just go to a hotel. I've seen guys on YouTube do oil changes on this thing, and the shit that comes out of there is disturbing. So I'm going to do my first oil change as soon as I bought 3 KTM like maintenance kits, and as soon as they get here, I'm changing the oil, and I'll do a video on it. And I'll do a video for each one of the mods that I do. Oh, the other thing. What made me buy this bike? So I was going to buy a used one. But for 23, this is a 23, they fixed some stuff with the traction control, and then you get the spoked wheels, and supposedly the spoked wheels make it it's a stronger wheel than the cast wheels. Now, I don't know if there's people out there breaking cast wheels left and right, but if people smarter than me say that they're good, they're good. I'm not, like I said, I don't see myself doing any power modification mods. I will. I think it's $200 for the KTM quick shifter. I can see myself using that quite a bit, especially if I'm inexperienced off-road. These mirrors got to go. I'm just going to break these. They're really good. They don't vibrate, and you get a good, view. I could ride this bike all day long without mirrors. The only thing I'd have to worry about is getting pulled over by a cop. There's some aesthetic stuff I changed. Like, I'd probably change these to something like more cool, but I ain't there yet. So, this was, again, half the price of the other adventure bikes and dual sports. It's arguable whether or not that you get the more or less performance. There's a video out there of a guy who is on a BMW big bore 1200cc bike, just hating life, trying to get through the Trans-America Trail. God bless that dude. I feel terrible for him, but I don't want that to be me. So yeah. It's doing pretty good so far. So I'm happy with it. So I'll get some Pro Bend bars. I'll get some better bars, better hand guards. And then I want to get, some people are like, you put crash bars on and it adds weight. And I'm like, because evidently these fairings are pretty cheap to replace. But dude, fuck that, man. Like, the other thing too is like, on here, I'm going to put some auxiliary lights, because these lights are really good if the brights are on. But you can't see the road. And I can tell you from doing the Heartland Challenge once, if you can see the road, you can do really, like, it makes a big difference in confidence. Not that I want to do much riding at night if I do the Transamerica Trail, but, and then the last thing I'm going to do is go over some gear because, I don't know where my motocross or my GNCC helmet is, but I've been riding this. I've been riding with this. It works pretty good, but it's not. It ain't the best. My Bluetooth is still on. It's a great helmet, but it's not a dual sport helmet. I don't know if you need a dual sport helmet, but I'm gonna have to get all the protective gear. I ride with this. This is a little bit older, but I'll get the pants and all the, I guess there's people say that these are for old guys, and I guess I'm considered an old guy now. But I mean, Christ, some of the dual sport bikes are they're 10-second bikes. This is not, obviously, but I mean, it's enough to get out of the way. I wouldn't want to do 100 miles an hour on this thing for a long time, but yeah, that's pretty much the whole bike. KTM 390 Adventure. I'm going to do the Transamerica Trail, I think, in March. I have from now until March to get ready. And if you're interested in watching a build, follow, give me a subscription and give me a follow, or like this video, smash that like button or that annoying shit. And then, maybe you're getting burnt out with some racing and you want to do something like this, or maybe you like to do this and you also race like me. But this is what I'm going to be sticking with, unless I get way more confident and I get a hair up my ass or a good deal comes my way, whatever the case may be. But I'll be honest with you, there's not a lot of venture bikes out there that I like, or dual sport bikes that I like. I like this right away. I never used to race like Hondas or Subarus and shit like that, but I can tell you there's an appeal to having a small displacement, high horsepower, and a light chassis. And like you say, like people say, it's more fun to drive a slow bike fast than the fast bike slow. So anyway, thanks for your time. I hope you enjoy this, and then get used to it, because besides my racing videos and hockey videos, I'll be doing this. So anyway, thanks for the support, and everybody stay safe out there.